everybody, this is Brian, and today I'm doing a review of the Razer Ouroboros wireless gaming mouse. So upon first looking at this mouse, a lot of people have commented. I really do think it's a gorgeous mouse. There are some out there that kind of have a similar type of look to it. A lot of people think that this one specifically looks like the tumbler from Batman, and I would tend to fully agree with them. It's got that matte black finish, really slick looking. I think it looks actually, absolutely fantastic. That matte kind of look to it, actually, believe it or not, I thought that it would be kind of that soft touch finish, but it's actually kind of like a matte black paint job. So it's kind of got a rough texture to it, which I guess if you're doing, long bouts of gaming and, really gaming for hours, this actually would still help because of the rough texture, so the sweaty palms wouldn't be slipping on it too much. But I still, personally, for me, I would rather have the soft touch finish. Other specs on this thing, it's obviously ambidextrous. It's customizable in terms of the buttons. There are 11 buttons on here. All of them are programmable. It comes with the Razer Synapse 2.0 software, where you can go ahead and program a lot. To your heart's content, you can program this thing. The cool thing about this is it actually has these replaceable sides. Now, as you can see, right now you kind of have these like wings on the side, and what you do is when your hands are down there, this actually prevents your thumb and your pinky from touching the mouse pad. And if you rather prefer to have kind of like a regular type mouse without that, these actually pop off. They just have magnets right there, and you just pull them off, and they actually have these replaceable pieces that you can go ahead and snap on, and they actually have like it's rubberized right here, and just go ahead and boom, and it stops right there. And it's you can kind of mix it up. So what I have is I actually have it in this configuration, all the reverse, because I am lefty, and I have this type of wing one on the right side, and then the rubberized one on the left. Seems to work pretty well. One of my few gripes with this is it is a little big for my hands. My hands are a little on the small side. It is a rather wide and rather big mouse. It is, as I said, it's customizable to fit all hand and grip styles. It does, right here with this wheel on the bottom, you can raise and lower the palm grip, as you can see there. You can also, from underneath here, if you push down, this is actually a button, if you push down, you can actually slide the palm rest forward and backwards. So if you have longer hands, it will fit a little bit better if you hadn't pulled that out. In terms of its responsiveness, though, it is a very responsive mouse. Even wireless, they say it's a gamer grade wireless connection, 1 millisecond response time, and to me, I'm not a professional gamer, but it does seem to work very well, better than a regular wireless mouse. It seems to really feel like it's corded. What's great is it comes here. This is the receiver and also the charging base. You just pop it on there, like so, and it will charge. If you are running out of juice, though, if you're doing multiple hours of gaming in one session, you can actually go ahead and pull out the USB cable here and plug it directly into the mouse, and then you have a wired mouse. So you go ahead and game to your heart's content. Don't have to worry about the batteries dying. The one thing, as I was saying, in terms of the size, going back to the size, it is a little big for me. I also do wish that it was a little more curved. As you can see, it's a very kind of flat, as you can see how my fingers are right there. Some other mice, it would curve down more here. It would be more of a sloping curve. and to me those are more comfortable. Sometimes this mouse, my wrists can hurt a little bit, but overall it's still not that bad to use at all. I will actually be comparing it to Razer's Death Adder. I'm getting the left-handed version, the left-handed curved mouse, and that does have more of a curve to it, so I'm going to test that, compare it, and compare the difference too in the sensors, considering this thing has a ridiculous 8200 DPI sensor, and it has a both optical and a laser sensor in it, whereas the Death Adder just has a 3500 DPI sensor. I personally don't think you're going to need anywhere near 8200 DPI unless you're a professional gamer. So to me, that won't really factor in too much into the decision as to which one I feel is better. For me, it's more comfort and usability, in terms of the programmable buttons and what I'm able to do. I've used this already with games like Battlefield 3 and whatnot, and it works pretty well. The software, the Synapse 2, again, like I said, you can really just program to your heart's content. You can change the polling rate of the mouse. You can change if you want mouse pointer acceleration. You can even change how bright these green LEDs that glow here on the sides around the mouse wheel here. You can actually determine how bright you want it to be, both when it's wireless and when it's wired. Some pretty cool features. Obviously you can program different profiles for different games, things like that. It's pretty cool. And because unfortunately I got this about a month ago over at Best Buy, I already unboxed it, but just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like, here's the box in all its glory. It's basically a big plastic display box. Looks really good in the store and when it's sitting in there, and then if you just pull it out, it's just got all the manuals, the cord, obviously the charger slash receiver and everything like that. And if you're looking to get one right now, it's going to be difficult to get. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but it seems to be no stock of it really anywhere. There may be some stock creeping in, but this isn't available at any of the Best Buys in my area right now, where they were before. Even Razer's own website says they're not going to come in until January again. So I don't know what that is. I was thinking, and just to let everybody know, I did run into an issue with this where using this button right here, and you can't see it. There's these two programmable, but these actually where the thumb rest, as you can hear, is a button, and it's pre-programmed to, when you hold it down, to on the fly lower the resolution, the DPI of the sensor. So if you have it really sensitive, so you don't have to move it much in order to make large movements on the screen for your character while you're playing, like, let's say, a first-person shooter, but you want to lower the resolution to be able to have more movement and more precise movement for being able to get a headshot, you can do that on the fly. You just pull down the button and it will do it, and then as soon as you let go, it's right back to whatever DPI you have set. That being said, too, these buttons are also pre-programmed to raise the DPI resolution on the fly and lower it on the fly, so it's a pretty good thing too. But I do find that this button was a little hard to press. I understand that given intense gaming and you're gripping this thing tight, that you don't want to accidentally hold that down and screw yourself up, where it changes the resolution on you without you wanting it to. So I do kind of understand the reasoning behind the design. At the same time, I still found it a little bit too difficult to push, but it's not something you get used to it after a while, so it's not that big of a deal. But as I was saying, when I press this button, sometimes what was weird is the sensor seemed to be a little bit messed up, and when I would move the mouse horizontally back and forth, the mouse pointer though would go like this as I moved it back and forth across the screen, and usually hitting the button again and kind of moving around, it would fix it. So I don't know if that's if that's a software issue, if that's, you know, the button being stuck, which it didn't feel like, or if there's an issue with the sensor. I'm not really sure, and who knows, maybe, you know, I don't want to speculate, but maybe that's why it's not available while they fix it, although I don't think that's the case. You know, I wrote to Razer support, and I expect to get a response back soon. They'll probably just give me some reasons on, you know, some kind of tips on what to check for and to do certain things in order to see if there's any issues. But that being said, you know, who knows? Maybe that's the case. I highly doubt it though, and I may have gotten a lemon. So they usually make really good products. I've owned their Boom Slang mouse in the past. It's their first product I ever made, and it was, while it was uncomfortable for me because I have small hands, it did, you know, work very well, and a lot of people are very happy with Razer products and the quality. So I wouldn't let that get in the way of you getting this. So my recommendation is, if you have larger hands, I'd say this is probably a pretty good mouse. But if you want something that's more sloped and you have a little bit smaller hands, I would definitely suggest, and you especially don't need the ridiculously high 8200 DPI, I would go with maybe their Death Adder, or go with another gaming mouse. But I will compare it to the Death Adder and let you guys know. So again, my name is Brian, and this is the review of the Razer Ouroboros mouse.